Hello and welcome to another episode of Cards Unbarred. My name's Ryan, and in this video I'm going to teach you the trick-taking game 7 Prophecies, designed by Hanada Oraguchi. The components in 7 Prophecies consists of 44 playing cards, 4 suits numbered 1 through 11, in blue, brown, red, and orange. The game also comes with 12 future cards in those same 4 suits of blue, brown, red, and orange. 2 scoring track cards, 4 bidding cards, 4 prophecy cards, and 32 player cubes, 8 cubes in each color of white, black, red, and blue. When playing a 4-player game, you will use all 44 playing cards, but when playing a 3-player game, you will remove the 10 and 11 of all 4 suits, as well as the 4th prophecy card, 1 bidding card, and all 8 cubes of 1 player color. In this video, we'll be setting up for a 4-player game, so all components will be used. The components you see in this video are part of a pre-production copy, so the final copy might be slightly different than what you see in this video. Be sure to check out the New Mill website for any information. To set up for a game of 7 Prophecies, have each player select a color and take all 8 cubes in that color. Next, take the 4 prophecy cards, placing them in a column with the first card on top and the 4th card on bottom. Then place the 2 scoring track cards nearby. Make sure to put the 1 to 4 card underneath the 5 to 8 card. Now, as I mentioned, this copy may have some differences to yours. It's possible your cards are numbered 0 to 7, whereas mine are numbered 1 to 8. Either way, put the lower number at the bottom and the higher number up top. Next, the player who most recently had a prophetic dream is the starting player. But if there are no clairvoyants among you, the player teaching the game will be the starting player. Then shuffle the main playing card deck and deal 10 cards to each player. This will leave 4 cards undealt. Keep those 4 cards face down off to the side to be used for next round. Then give each player one of the bidding cards, and have each player place one of their cubes underneath the scoring track. The remaining 7 cubes will be placed on the bidding and prophecy cards shortly during trick play. Finally, shuffle the 12 future cards and reveal them one at a time above the prophecy cards until you have placed 10 in a row. It will look something like this once everything is all set up. The 2 future cards that were not placed will be kept face down off to the side and will be used for the next round. Now that we're all set up, players are ready to head to the prophecy phase. To complete the prophecy phase, all players will look at their hand and simultaneously place their 7 cubes on their bidding card, bidding how many times they will get 1st, 2nd, 3rd, or 4th during trick play. Players should make sure they keep their predictions hidden from all other players, so while placing cubes on your bidding card, make sure you use one of your hands to shield your bidding card while placing your cubes on the bidding card itself. Once all players have placed their cubes on their bidding card, they will simultaneously reveal to show where they bid. Now all players will move their cubes onto the prophecy cards, and you can set your bidding cards aside until next round. And now you are ready to begin trick play. 7 Prophecies is a must-follow trick-taking game. However, the card that you use to determine what you must follow is in the lane. So looking at these future cards, the very first trick you must follow with the orange suit. The second trick and the third trick will be brown. The 4th is blue, then back to brown, all the way through all 10 tricks. So when you are trying to play a card, you're looking at your hand to see, do you have a card that matches that suit for the trick you're on? If you do, you must play it. If you do not, you can play any card you want. So let's say the blue player down here is leading the first trick. They'll look at their hand and choose any one of these 3 orange cards to play, since orange is the suit they must follow, and they will play that 7. Now, when you're playing your cards, as we said, you're making these predictions on where you think you'll land in the trick. So right now, by playing a 7, knowing the suits go from 1 to 11, they're thinking they're probably going to get 2nd or 3rd, which they have a lot of cubes on those prophecy cards. Your goal is to try and get all of your prophecy cards from here onto the cards you play in tricks. The first player to get all 7 of their cubes off will score, and the earlier you do it, the better. Either way, the blue player has played that orange 7, so heading to the white player, looking at their hand, they only have 1 orange card, so they'll play the 10. Then coming over to the black player, looking at their hand, they have 4 options here. They could either get first, probably even fourth on that one, a couple options in between, but they did that 1 cube for first, knowing they could win the first trick of the hand with that 11. And then coming to the red player, looking at their hand, they only have this orange 3, so they'll go ahead and play that now. Once everyone's played a card under the trick, you have to rank all of the cards to actually determine if you came in first, second, third, or fourth. Now, all 4 cards played were matching the lead suit, so we simply just need to look at the 4 numbers. The higher the number, the higher it ranks. Once you move your card into the ranking, if you have a cube on the prophecy card, you simply move it over and place it on top of the card. In this case, black plays first, so they'll go there. Now white plays second, they'll put their card in, drop a cube, then blue is third, and red is fourth. If you did not have a cube on the prophecy card, you'd still place your card in that slot, you just don't move any cube over. The player who placed first on that trick will then lead the next trick. So black would start looking at their hand and knowing that they have to follow brown, because that is now the next card to follow, they have this 4, 6, or 9 that they need to play. Now they don't have any more cubes on the first space, so they don't want to win this trick, so they want to make sure they get second, third, or fourth, and they have some pretty good options to potentially do that. Maybe they'll play this 6. Coming to the red player, looking at their hand, they have 4 brown options. Again, looking at their cubes where they want to rank and what black has just played. Maybe they go with the 7 to try and get above them. Then we look at blue's hand. Ooh, forgetting another card. And they have the 11, so they could try and knock out their first trick. So they're going to go ahead and play the 11 here. And finally, the white player does not have any brown cards in their hand. So when you don't have any cards that match that suit, you can play anything you want, but you will be ranked lower than all other cards that do match that suit, even if your number is higher. So they could play this 10, and even though it's higher than the 6 and 7, it's off suit, so it actually ranks lower. Whenever multiple players would play off suit, so let's just say they didn't have brown and they played this blue, you then have to compare their values to see who's higher. The suits don't matter, so even if this was red, it's still off suit, you're still just comparing the number. And whenever the same number is played, the one that's played later in the trick is considered to be stronger. So if black led this trick, white would have been played later, so they would be ranked higher than the red player's card. Either way, taking that back, we put it here like this. We again rank all these cards. 11 is first, so we place it up here. Blue puts their cube down. Then red goes second, placing their cube. Black is third, and white is fourth. Trick play will continue like this, with each player looking at that color, playing a card from their hand of that suit if they can, if not, playing anything else. And as soon as one player has placed all of their cubes from the prophecy cards onto the playing cards, the round will end. Or you play all 10 tricks. It's possible you can get through all 10 tricks without players placing all 7 of their cubes. Depending on when you place your 7th cube during the round will determine how many points you score. So let's just fast forward through this round and we'll see what happens. Okay, so we made it all the way to the 8th trick before the final cube on one player color was placed on the playing cards. In this case, white placed their last cube when they came in second. Because they did it on the 8th trick, they will score 3 points. As you can see off to the side, the breakdown for the number of points you will score based on the trick you completed on is 5 points for the 7th trick, 3 points for the 8th trick, 2 for the 9th, and 1 on the 10th. Now, if you manage to score on the 7th, 8th, or 9th trick, then whichever player has the fewest remaining cubes left on the prophecy cards will score 1 point. Ties are friendly on this, so if there are multiple players, they'd all get 1 point. In this case, blue only has 1 cube left, where black and red have 2. So blue is going to score 1 point, and as we mentioned, white is going to score 3 points. Now at this time, you'd want to check to see did any player reach 7 or more points, in which case they win the game. If not, you'll shuffle up all the cards, re-deal 10 cards to each player, reshuffle the future cards, deal out 10 of those, and start another round. You'll play 4 rounds for 4 players and 3 rounds for 3 players. Whoever has the most points at the end of those rounds wins, but remember to check to see if any player has 7 or more points after each round. And if there is a tie for the most amount of points, then all players share the victory. Otherwise, that's everything you need to know to play 7 Prophecies. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below and I'll get to them as soon as I can. Thanks so much for watching.